Hello everyone, welcome guys. I am Nachiket Vadavekar, and as we were seeing solid sets, in that we have first seen introduction, different types of solids, crystalline solids, amorphous solids, and their subtypes we have seen. Then we have seen differentiation between those crystalline solids, amorphous solids, and types of crystalline solids. Then we have seen unit cells, which are primitive part or the smallest part of the crystalline unit. Then there are 7 types of crystalline units, and those crystalline units are divided into their respective types, like simple, which is also known as primitive, simple, cubic. If I am taking cube as a crystalline unit, in that I'll be having 3 types: simple, body centered, and face centered. There is fourth type, which is base centered. Now we have seen those 4 types, and we will be now moving for the percentage packing efficiency. We have also seen the arrangement of the atoms in 3 dimension, 2 dimension, and 1 dimension. Today we are going to derive the relation for percentage packing efficiency in these 3 types of cubic unit cell. Those are simple cubic, body centered, and face centered. These are the 3 types. We are going to derive its percentage packing efficiency, and then we will find out the examples, how to solve the examples, and the formula by which we can remember the formula for solving those examples of solid states. Okay, now today, starting with the derivation, first we have to find out the percentage packing efficiency for simple cubic unit cell. For simple cubic unit cell, we are knowing that we are having atoms present at the corners of that unit cell. So first I will draw a shape of unit cell. This is cubic unit cell. In cubic unit cell, we have atoms placed at the corners. So I will just draw a figure for it. Now this is what 3D image of a simple cubic unit cell, where at each corner we have atoms. This is what our edge length, which is represented by A, and this is the radius of an atom. Now there are many doubts which can be in your mind, that how come the R can be shown over here. So for that I have brought some cuts and shapes to show you. Okay, so first to finding out that why we are having R over there. Now let us take this as half atom. In solid states, atoms are considered to be as solid spheres. Now consider this as a solid sphere. This atom is considered to be as solid sphere. This is semicircle, as you can see. The other part will be also joined over here, which I have with me over here. These are 4 different parts, and here I am having 4 parts. Now if you will see, in this you can see that this is the diameter, and this will give you the radius of that atom, right? So what I am doing is, this is the radius. This atom is known as what? 1/8 part. How come 1/8 part? Here I am having 4 parts, and here I am having 4 parts with me. These all together will give you a whole sphere, complete sphere. Getting this part? So this is half sphere, and here you are having half sphere. So that will give you a whole atom, the shape of an whole atom. So atom can be divided into 8 different parts, and when we are considering one part over here, so at each corner we will have 1/8 part of the atom, which will be shown like this. This is 1/8 part of the atom, which is present at the corner like this. Okay, in this way the atoms are arranged with each other like this. I can show it to you. The base of the atom, which you can see, which is the part which you are seeing right now. So in this way you will have the placement of the atoms. Remaining 2 atoms will be placed at the top of these 2. So this part is known as what? Radius, which I have shown over here. So in this way, at each corner we will have 1/8 atom, right? And there are 8 corners. Similarly, this will be known as the radius of an atom. Now where we are going to need this, that we will see as we go on with the derivation. Okay, so now first we will write down the statement which you all should understand, that consider a cube having edge length a can be equal to radius, a can be given as 2r, where r is the radius of an atom. So in this way you can start with the derivation. Consider a simple cubic unit cell having edge length a. Let a is equal to 2r as shown in the figure. Next statement will be r is the radius of the atom. In this way we will get the starting of the derivation, and then we will complete the derivation. Before moving for the derivation, I would like to clear one concept of yours, is that if I am having this sphere circle and this is my void space which I am having over here. So to find out the percentage of void space, what I will do is percentage of void space. What I will do is I will divide area of circle with area of square, right, into 100. That will give me the percentage of what? That will not give me the void space. This percentage will give me the what? Percentage of occupied sphere. So to find out the percentage of void space, what I will need is, I will need to calculate this answer and subtract it from 100. So I will write down over here minus and plus 100. As we will move ahead, we will understand that. I will give you one more example. We generally calculate our percentage. How do we calculate our percentage? We have to calculate our scored marks. How many percentage I have got? Like if I am having 60%, I have scored 60%. So what I will do is 60 marks divided by total marks into 100. This is the general process by which we calculate our percentage which we score in our exams. Means we add up the marks, we make the total, our scored marks divided by the total marks, that is 600 into 100, we calculate our percentage. Similarly, those are what? Scored percentage. Similarly, when I am doing volume of circle or area of circle divided by area of square, that will give me the percentage of occupied space. Okay, I want to find out the void space. So what I will do is, so this percentage, occupied percentage, will be subtracted from the 100. Means what? If I am having 60%, so I am less with 40%. For that, what I had done, I had subtracted 60 from 100, so that will give me the percentage which I have lost. Means these are the percentage which I have lost and these are the percentage which I have gained in exams. Similarly, we are going to try to solve the derivation based on this concept. In this, we have to find out the percentage of void space. Okay, so for that, first we will need to find out the percentage of occupied space. Before moving for that, first we will find out the total number of atoms. Okay, so to find out the total number of atoms, what we will do is, how many atoms are there? There is one atom at each corner and there are total 8 corners. So in all there is one atom present. Okay, there is one atom present in this whole cube. Now we are going for 3 dimension. I showed you in 2 dimension. Okay, this is what? One atom present, and atom is considered as a sphere. So volume of sphere can be given as, volume of sphere is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. There is only one sphere, so I will multiply it by 1. If there were 2 spheres, means if there were 2 atoms, so I would have multiplied it by 2. So this is what? Volume of sphere. Now next I will find out the volume of cube. Why we are doing it, I will tell you. Okay, so volume of cube will be what? A cube, which is simple, which we all know. Now what we have to do is, we have to find out the occupied volume, percentage percentage of occupied volume. So to find out the percentage of occupied volume, what I will do is 4 by 3 pi r cube means the volume which is occupied divided by total volume which is a cube into 100. The same way as we do for our marks. Your scored marks divided by total marks into 100. Now a is what 2r as we have written over here. So we can substitute the value of a here and we will get 4 by 3 pi r cube upon 2r bracket cube into 100. When we open this cube we will get 8r cube. So I'll directly write over here as 8r cube. R cube can get cancelled. We can write here 2. So that will be what? 2 by 3 pi. So this, pi by, I will get pi by 6 into 100. What I have done is, here I will write down, here I am having 1 by 3 pi and it is divided by 2. Other all part is cancelled into 100. Now this is what 2 by 1. So when I will take 2 by 1 take in multiplication, I will get what? 1 by 3 into 1 by 2. It will be cross changed into pi. So that will give me 6 pi. Okay. So it will have pi by 6 into 100. In this way, we can now substitute the value of pi. Value of pi is 3.14 divided by 6. So we can simplify this. Here I will have 3. Here I will have 50. I am dividing it by 2. So 3.14 divided by 3 into 50 will give me the percentage of occupied volume. So that will be equal to what? Approximately 52%, something like that. I'll just check the answer. Yes, it is 52.4%. Means what? The occupied volume in this cube is 52%, and the percentage of void space will be what? Percentage of void space will be 100 minus 52.4, which will be equal to 47.6%. So 47.6% means approximately 50% of this cube is empty and 50% is occupied, and that occupied part is because of the atoms which you are having at the corners. So in this way we can write down the derivation. This derivation comes for 3 marks, where you can write down the statements and write down the explanation. What we have done is, first we have found out the value of A, that is A is equal to 2R. Then we calculated the number of atoms. After calculating the number of atoms, we found the occupied volume. How much volume of cube is occupied. So for that we need spheres. So there is one atom, so we multiplied it by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Next, volume of cube we all know A cube. To find out the percentage of occupied volume, we divided the occupied volume by total volume into 100. So substituting the value of A, further dividing the common terms, and further doing the log calculations, we get the percentage of occupied volume. Okay. Then to find out the percentage of void space, we subtracted 100 from that. Now the same process we are going to follow for the next 2 derivations, but the variation is only in the finding out the value of A. Remaining all things remain same. How, that I will tell you. I will just write down a shape for BCC. BCC means body centered cubic crystal. BCC means what? Body centered cubic crystal. Body centered means what? A whole atom is placed at the center of the cube. This is a whole sphere. This whole atom is present at the center of the cube, and the atom at this corner is in contact with the atom in next corner. So I will do a construction. I will join these two ends, and this with this end. Here you can see this is R, this will be 2R, and this will be also R. I can name this as C. Here I will write as A, its edge length. Here also I will be having A, and the diagonal which I have drawn, I will name it as B. I will name them as A, B, C and D. As we are doing some construction, by statement we can write down that in triangle ABC, in triangle BCD first, in triangle BCD, by Pythagoras theorem we can write down that B square is equal to 2A square. Here B square is equal to 2A square. Why? Because A square plus A square will give me 2A square. This is the triangle in BCD. Now in triangle ABD, the triangle which you are having over here, this triangle is what? 90. Triangle ABD, as you are seeing, it is slightly slanted, but it will be in 90 only. For that I can show you a part over here. What we are doing the construction is, here we are putting a diagonal over here. See, I can show you in this way. Here I am having a diagonal which is starting from one corner and ending at the other corner. And next what I have done is, just a moment, next what I have done is, I have done another construction where I have joined these two different parts. See, in this way I have done the construction of my triangle. Here you can see, here by different angles I am trying to show you. This is A and this is B, which we have constructed, and the C part is here you can see, which is named as C, okay, in the figure which you are seeing over here. Now in this case what will happen is, A square plus A square will give you B square, and what I want to show you is that this angle is in 90 with each other. The angle which I am showing you over here is, if it's possible for you to see here, this triangle, the fingers which I am holding, these are A, B and C. Here you can see that it is 90 with each other. The angle between them is 90. Okay, so this can be acting as Pythagoras theorem. We can use Pythagoras theorem in this triangle because this triangle is having 90-degree angle at the corner. The finger which I am having, point finger will have what? 90-degree angle over here. Okay, is this clear? You can do some construction by your own also. You can have a cube. In that cube you can cut a diagonal of this shape and see whether the angle comes out to be 90 or not. Here I have tried to explain it in the form of sticks which I have used over here for constructing the cubes and other shapes. Based on that you can see the angle will be 90 between the corners. So let's move ahead and see for the triangle A, B and D. Now solving the triangle A, B and D, what we can write down is, in triangle A, B, D, A, B, D, we know that A square plus B square is equal to C square. A square plus B square is equal to C square. Substituting the value of B square, we will get 3A square is equal to C square. And we know the value of C, R plus 2R plus R, means C will be what? Total 4R, and then we will substitute the value of C and we will square it. Value of C is 4R and we will have 4R square. Taking square root, we will get Q, we will get what? Q, square root of 3. Square root of 3A is equal to 4R, and we need the value of A over here. So A is equal to what? 4 by root 3R. Here we were having value of A for simple cubic, that is 2R. For body centered it is 4 by root 3R, which you have to remember always. Okay. Next we have to find out the total number of atoms. I hope you have understood the two triangles which you have considered. First triangle BCD and second triangle AB and D. Okay, now we have to find out the total number of atoms. At each corner there is 1/8 atom. At each corners there is 1/8 atom. So this will be always there with us. And one atom, a whole atom is placed at the center of that cube. So we will get what? 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 atoms. Okay. Next, volume of sphere will be what? 4 by 3. And how many spheres we are having? 2 spheres. So that will be 2 into 4 by 3 pi r cube, which will give you what? 8 by 3 pi r cube. So that will be what? 8 by 3 pi r cube. Volume of cube is equal to a cube. So a cube will be substituted. Value of a cube can be substituted over here. We are finding out percentage of occupied volume. What is this? Percentage of occupied volume. Okay, we are having here percentage of occupied volume. Substituting the value of a, that is 4 by root 3. So 8 by 3 pi r cube is equal to 4 by root 3 r bracket cube. Value of a is 4 by root 3 r. Substituted, we will get 64. Here we are having into 100. This will be what? Percentage of occupied volume. We can write down over here. Then we will get what? 8 by 3 pi r cube divided by 64 3 root 3 r cube. R cube get cancelled. 3 gets cancelled. 8 is a 64. So you will get what? Root 3 by 8 pi. I will simplify it over here. We are having here what? Percentage of occupied volume will be equal to root 3 by 8 pi into 100. See, these all terms are cancelled. We are having pi only at the top, which I have written over here. I am having at the bottom 8 by root 3. So when we take that reverse, in the reverse direction, we get, when we take the reciprocal of it, we will get root 3 by 8 pi. By substituting the value of pi and root 3, we can simplify it. Root 3, value of root 3, you will get the value of root 3 in log tables, that is 0.73 something. I don't know exactly. You will get in its square root table, in square roots. When you will see the value of root 3, directly you will get the answer, that is 1 point something. Exactly I don't know. Now when we will multiply these terms and try to simplify this whole concept, we will get the percentage, that is 64 or 62%, something like that. I'll just check once for body center. That is 68.04%. It is 68.04%. Now how we can solve it? I don't have log table right now with me. If I'd have told you, we have to see the value of root 3. Looking after the value of root 3, we will multiply it. Means value of root 3, I am taking it as x into 3.14 divided by 8 into 100. You can simplify this. You can write down as 4 2s are 8 and 4 into 25. You can then further divide it and you can simplify it with the help of log. You can go on dividing and you will get the final answer as 68.02%, which is occupied. Okay, 68.02 or 68.04%, which is occupied. Next, if we will try to find out the percentage of void space, so percentage of void space will be what? Percentage of void space will be equal to 100 minus 68.02. So after subtracting, you will get the percentage for void space. Okay, this is for body centered crystal unit. Next, we will have face centered crystal unit. In face centered crystal unit, we first need to draw the diagram. First, I will draw the diagram for face centered crystal unit. at face centered crystal unit, we have half of the atom placed at each face. There are 6 faces, so at each face we will have half of the atom placed over there. How half atom, that I will show you. Okay, so as in previous part of the video, we have seen with the help of again the ball which I have showed you. So in this way, this is the half atom present at each face of the cube. If I am having this as the face of the cube, okay, so here I will have half atom placed, and each corners, and at each corners I will have 1/8 atom. These corners will have 1/8 atom, and here I will have half of the atom placed at each face. Now we have to find out the percentage packing efficiency for these faces. So I will just show you diagrammatically how we can imagine it. In this way, at each face, at this face also you will have atom placed over here. At the top also you will have atom placed. So in this way you will have the atoms present at the faces. At each face you will have atom. So this will be what? Edge length represented by A. This will be R. Now what we are going to do is, we are just going to consider a simple face. This is face. At each face you will have half atom and atoms at the corners. So what we are going to do is, we will just draw a diagonal. This is A and A, edge length of the cube. This can be as B. So R, 2R and R. So value of B will be what? Value of B will be 4R. By using Pythagoras theorem in triangle ABC. By using Pythagoras theorem in triangle ABC, we can write down 2A square is equal to B square. So 2A square means what? A square plus A square. We have added them. So 2A square is equal to B square. B, value of B is what? 4R. So it will be what? 4R square. By removing the square root, means by taking the square root, we will get what? Root 2A is equal to 4R. So value of A will be what? 4 by root 2R, which can be also written as root 8R. So now here we are having the value of A. Value of A is equal to root 8R. Next, we have to find out the total number of atoms. At each face, at each corner we are having 1/8 atom, and at each face we are having half of the atom. So we can write down this as 1/2 into 6 faces. Half atom at 6 faces. So this will be what? 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. That means what? We will have 4 atoms. We will have 4 atoms placed in this cube. So volume of sphere will be what? 4 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. A will be what? A cube. Volume of cube will be always A cube. Now we will just substitute these values over here. What I am having the volume of sphere to be as 4 into, means 4 4 is 16. 16 into 16 by 3 into pi r cube. Then A cube. A cube will be what? Root 8R. So I will just substitute over here. Root 8R into R cube into 100. We are just doing the substitutions as we have seen in the previous example, our previous derivation, by the same way. So I will have 8 root 8 part over here. So 8 by 3 pi r cube. Here I can write 8 root 8 r cube. R cube gets cancelled. 8 gets cancelled. So that will be what? 1 pi by 3 root 8. So that will be what? Pi by 3 root 8. So we can solve this. I'll write down over here. pi by 3 root 8 into 100. This will be what? Percentage of occupied volume. We are finding what? Percentage of occupied volume. So that will be 3.14 upon 3 into, we can find out the value of root 8 same with the help of log table. You will see at the end of the log table natural square roots. In natural square roots, when you will see the value of 8, you will see the value of 8 in 0 or 80 in 0, you will get the exact answer, final answer. So root 8, again it is now, there are many different types, square roots from 1 to 10 and square roots from 10 to 100. These are the two parts. This number is less than 10, so you will see the value of square roots from 1 to 10. If the value of square root is greater than 10, then you will see the value of square roots between 10 to 100. You have to see that very carefully. Okay, so you will see the value of square root of 8, do the log calculations, and you will get the final answer, and that final answer is about to be 72.03 or 74%. It is 74%. It is 74.08%. This is what occupied volume in the cube. And next, when we want to find out the percentage of void space, we'll just subtract that from our 100 and we'll get the total percentage. In this way, we can find out the percentage, which are very important to identify the packing efficiency. This packing efficiency results into the formation of N-type, P-type semiconductors. Majority we have seen the semiconductors. Semiconductors are those where silicon chip is doped with some impurities in it. Those impurities, where do those impurities have space to settle down? So that space is the void spaces which are present in these cubes. Okay, as we have seen in simple cubic crystal unit, in simple cubic, the first derivation which you have seen, it was 52% occupied, remaining was 47% void. Means 47% is available for the dopants or the impurities to occupy the space over there. Okay, so in this way semiconductors are made. Okay, the examples we will see in next video. Thank you.